Hey everybody, welcome back. Monday Morning Briefing, episode number 147. It is Wednesday, September the 3rd, 2025. Just got this big old box in from Hermann Oak today, and I'm pretty excited about it. I had visited with Robert and Adam at Waco and told them that I wanted to try to get a little bit of leather dust from them, from the factory, because I did a podcast here recently on Lost Trade Podcast. You can check it out on Apple and Spotify. But we did a podcast with Jürgen Volbach from Cologne, Germany. And he's kind of an expert in 3D embossing, things like that. And he had mentioned that Hermann Oak had leather dust. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they have leather dust? Never really thought about it. But so I asked them, can I get some? They said, sure. How much do you need? I said, I just need a little bit, just to kind of play with and see about mixing it up myself. This is the box they sent me. And so I'm pretty excited about it. I'm not mad about it at all. It's great. But this is more leather dust than I will probably use ever in my career, I would think. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'll start doing more and more of it. But this is a good amount of leather dust. I can use it. It's really good. It's a lot. We might throw a few bags on the website. I don't know how many of y'all out there do 3D embossing, but if you do and you be interested in getting some of this, I might throw some on the website this week, and just like, I don't know, 1 pound bag or something. And so if you want to get some, you certainly can. I have been using for quite some time, as you've probably seen on this channel, been talking about the 3D embossing filler that Renia makes. Really, really good product. It's great for guys like me that are just playing around with 3D embossing, never really done a lot of it, just kind of learning the technique and playing with it and different ideas and things like that. It's already got the rubber cement mixed up in here. It's a great consistency. It's in a can. It's easy to use. I don't have to do anything. I just pull this out and then fill my embossed area that I've pushed out and stuff like that. And so it's really, really good. So you probably pick this up at Springfield Leather. I know they sell a lot of Renia's products over there, so I'm sure they have some of this. But if you get online, I'm sure you can find it. But this here is going to be pretty fun because I wanted to see, how hard is that stuff to mix up. So we've got a bunch of leather dust. I have a sander back here in the shop, but I've got a bag for it, and it's supposed to collect the dust, and it does do a good job, kind of, but we don't sand enough just in our daily stuff to produce that much leather dust. So, and it really wasn't that expensive. I'll get a price on it. Like I said, I may throw a few bags on the website, and then if you're interested and you are doing 3D embossing and having trouble finding that, but honestly, if you're doing a lot of it or just trying to get into it, buy one of these. It's a lot easier. It's already mixed up, but because I'm sure mixing this will be a little bit of trial and error. But if you've been following us on social media, you've probably noticed we've done a few little embossed pieces that I've been just trying to learn the technique, learn the tools, learn what's going on and how to make it work. But this is a piece that we've started recently, and it's just the tulip that I've been playing with that I've just kind of been ironing out. I haven't really put it on anything. I've just been playing with it and trying to get it really the way I think it looks best and stuff, and I thought that'll be a fun one to emboss. So we did emboss that, and I don't know if you can see in the video, but it's up pretty good. But we just posted a reel today on Instagram of me tooling this out. This has been already embossed and had time for that leather dust in there to dry and everything else, and so it's coming along good. It's a lot of fun. It's a little different than normal, just because now it's got some shape, so you're tooling on kind of a pushed out shaped object, but it gives you a lot more versatility in your tooling and stuff. But thought that was pretty cool. Thank you to Robert and Adam for finding that for me. It was funny because Robert had already sent me a text one day, and he said, your leather dust is on the way, and it was a forklift with a big pallet, and I mean a pile of this stuff on the pallet, and he said, it's headed to you, and I said, I hope that's not true. I don't know where I'd put all that. Of course, he was laughing. He said, no, he said, that's not yours, but he said, we've got plenty if you need more. So if there is a need for it, we'll throw it out there, and if you want some, we'll put some on the website, like I said, and kind of go from there. And see, but I'm going to have fun with it. I'm going to mix some up today, maybe with some rubber cement, see how hard that is to get consistent, and maybe start another project and see what happens. Real quick, I want to send out a couple thank yous. I got a good friend of mine in Louisiana, and he knows who he is, but he made this little, he didn't make the wing dividers, but he found these little wing dividers, and they're super handy because they're small. So these, years ago in our tool belt that we wear in the shop that has my knife and my stuff on there, they used to keep a small set of wing dividers in there because there's times when you're across the shop and you need to use a set of wing dividers for something. And they ended up breaking, or I lost them or something over the years. And just haven't had any in there in a long time. But he found these little guys here, and he's got a laser, and so he laser engraved, I don't know if you can really see it, but laser engraved some decoration on there, and then also put my logo, and it's very small, but it's right here on this button here on the hinge, and it has our maker stamp in there. And he also did one for my wife with her new maker stamp, and it's really, really cool. And I want to thank him on the channel and just tell him thank you. He's a good friend of mine. We see him at the shows and stuff like that, and does some good leather work. He's been here for a class or two, and just a cool guy. But I wanted to thank him for these little wing dividers, because they're going to have a little pouch, I think, on my belt now, because they're really handy. Also got another friend that's become a really good friend. He's been a customer of ours for many years that came in on Monday. We really weren't open, but he needed to pick up some stuff, and I said, heck yeah, I'll meet you up there and get you what you need. And so he came up here, but he brought me this spatula. And he's got I think he said an uncle that makes these. They refinish old cast iron skillets, cast iron pots and pans and things like that. And the ones that are cracked or, kind of have a bad spot in them, maybe part of it's broke off, they will cut spatulas out of that. And I've seen a few of these on Instagram, or I've seen, maybe it's this guy, I don't know, but I've seen some reels of people cutting these out and making spatulas out of a cast iron skillet. And I think it's just really, really cool. And I was super excited to get this. So thank you very much for bringing that to me. We're going to take it home, and I think it's going to be a really great smash burger kind of spatula, as well as in the house, or whatever. It fits in a pan perfectly, because it is a pan made from a pan. So it's pretty neat. So if you've ever, I don't know if any of y'all have seen that kind of deal being done right now, but it's a really, really neat idea, and it's going to look really cool on my cast iron wall in my house. So I'm really glad to have that and add that to the collection. So thank you very much for that. We've got a lot going on in the shop this week. It's been a short week because we're off on Monday for the most part. I spent the weekend pretty much all 3 days kind of running from the heat between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock, say 4 or 5 o'clock down here. It was almost unbearable to be out there, at least where we were working, because there was no shade or anything, and that sun was draining you all day. So it was really, really kind of warm for us this weekend. But we ended up getting a hog pen built. The kids want to show a pig this year at our little local show, and so we thought, well, we'll go ahead and get that built up right quick. And so we built a couple little hog pens for their pigs, and they're going to go pig shopping, I think, this weekend maybe or something. And so that's on the books now too. So we're going to be doing that, which I'm fine with that. I told them, as long as you know that those pigs are going in my freezer, we're not taking them to Austin, we're not taking them to Houston, we're not taking them to any majors. They're just going to go here, and then they get to go in my freezer. So that's the game plan with that, and I'm kind of excited about it because I like to barbecue pork. It's probably one of my favorite things to barbecue. So we're going to be good to go on pork for the rest of the year for sure, or next year, I guess. But we've been in the shop this week. I'm just trying to hustle. We're going on vacation at the end of next week, so we'll be out of town the following. Robin will be here doing some shipping and things like that. I'll, of course, be kind of checking emails and doing things, but we'll be on family vacation, and then we'll be back in the shop and be ready to roll to Wichita Falls, which will be October the 3rd and 4th. So if you are in Wichita Falls for the Boot and Saddle Makers Roundup that weekend, be sure to come by the booth and say hi. We'll be there set up and looking forward to it. That's our last show of the year, so that's the last time we really get out as far as going to a show or anything, and then we'll just be back here in the shop for the rest of the year, getting ready for all our local little fall events, as well as our Black Friday event, which will be coming in November, the weekend of Black Friday, obviously, right after Thanksgiving, as we usually do. There'll be a lot more coming to y'all about that as we get closer. But right now we're focused on, vacation, honestly, focused on getting some fishing done. And we'll be posting some videos on that. Got some fun ideas, maybe posting a couple videos while we're out there. But it's also family time, so a lot of times I don't even pull the camera out. We're just doing stuff, we're fishing, we're hanging out, barbecuing, doing things like that. But yeah, when we get back, we'll be ready to go to Wichita Falls. We're excited. We're going to bring quite a bit of stuff, and then we'll also be taking our saddle that we took to Sheridan. We'll be taking that there as well to compete there, and then it'll be pretty well done. And so it'll just be in here on display unless somebody wants to own it, but otherwise it'll be here. What else? We got a ton of stuff going on. Working on a big project that we keep talking about that I can't talk to you about, but working on that. I've actually been shooting stuff all day today for that, which is kind of hard because it feels like I haven't gotten anything done today, but I have on that. And so it's a big thing. So it's going to take a lot of time, but we have made a big chip in it today. Robin's out today, and so she's not here every day. She just comes in as she wants to help us when we're busy. She's kind of seasonal, and so I've had the shop all to myself today, and so I kind of locked the door and just focused on shooting videos and shot a couple reels and things, and working on my project videos as well. But working on that, we also sent out a newsletter today to let everybody know that the class schedule, update everybody on some things that we've been doing, but also to let everybody know that the class schedule for the fall we have posted. So if you haven't been on the website, if you go to DG Leathercraft Classes, underneath the Leathercraft tab in our online store, you'll find those classes. We're only doing 3 in the fall, just because we have a lot of stuff going on between, 4-H, with her being involved with 4-H club here in town, and then me being on the ag board. We got things going on there, and then just personally, and then in the shop, and then local events. So I don't want to overpromise and do too many classes this fall, since it's our first year of really trying to do classes pretty frequently. The summer classes went great, and I want to thank everybody that came for those. We had a great time. The belt class, custom belt class, was really good, and everybody really enjoyed it, and I think it went great. I think it went smooth. It's plenty of time. Nobody's in a big hurry. We get to just kind of take our time, learn. There's only 5 people in here on these classes, guys. These are they're not private classes, right? It's not one-on-one, but you get a lot of one-on-one time. There's only 5 people here. And so it's not like our classes at the shows where we have, 18 people in one of our tooling classes. That makes it a little more difficult to really get around to everybody. So the classes for the fall are the same. They have 5 people per class. We're doing a drawing class. I'm bringing that class back. We might do it at Waco next year. We're still kind of ironing out next year's schedule. But we're going to do a drawing class here at the shop, and it'll just be a paper and pencil class. So grab you a sketchbook, bring your pencils, your eraser, the main thing. That's the smart end of the pencil from what Jimmy Plant used to tell me in the shop. But bring the eraser, bring your pencils, your circle templates, whatever, and we're just going to draw all day. So if you're interested in that class, you can go to the website and certainly sign up for that. And I can't remember what date that is, but they're all there. All the dates are there. Doing that, doing the belt class again, and doing a beginner's floral carving class again. That one's always popular. People really like that. So those 2 we've done already before. We've done them in Waco. The belt class we didn't, but the other one we have, and we've done them at other shows. So, but those are the 3 classes that we're offering. And so if you're interested in that, go to our website at dgsaddlery.com and go into our store. And like I said, you can find those DG Leathercraft classes and get signed up. We also have one other class that I am doing. It's being hosted by a friend of ours in Baytown at his shop, and it'll be while I'm on vacation. And so we will be, I'll have to drive there on Saturday. I think it's Saturday the 13th of September, and we opened it. We did one at his place last year, and it was for the Guild, the Houston Leather Guild, and it went really well. And they filled it up. And this time we had a few spots still open, so we decided to open it up. The Guild had first shot at it, and then so we had a few spots open. So when I looked a minute ago, there was only 3 or 4 spots left. So if you're interested in going to that class, that is not here at our shop. That one is at his shop in Baytown. Once you sign up, it has information on there when you go to look at the product on the website. And then once everybody gets signed up, you'll get an email with further instructions as far as where we're going to be and all that kind of stuff. But it's a drawing class. We're just going to be drawing. It's going to be a lot of fun. I quit doing the drawing class a few years ago because, I don't know, I just thought it was, for me, I thought I didn't want to bore people to death. We're just drawing on paper. There's no leather involved. We're at a leather show. And so we just I changed it up, started doing more leather type classes, that even though this is a leather class. But I had a lot of people over the last year to ask when I'm doing another one of those because they really, really want to focus on drawing. Drawing will change your tooling more than anything else. Outside of the swivel knife, right? So the more you understand the patterns and what's going on, the more you know how to draw your own patterns, the better your tooling will look because you're the one that drew it. So you know what the finished image in your mind looked like when you drew it. Versus when you use one of our patterns or somebody else's patterns, you didn't draw it, so you're not really quite clear sometimes on what's here and what's there and what actually that was going on there. So once you understand the patterns, you know their construction, you know how they're drawn, you know what's happening between flow and balance and all that stuff, that'll really change your tooling a lot too. So I know the drawing's the hardest part and that takes the longest to learn, but I always suggest people be working on it all the time, at least a little bit, 15, 20 minutes a day. Keep a sketchbook handy near you, at your desk or in your truck or the deer blind. It's almost deer season. Whatever you got to do, keep a sketchbook and just doodle a lot, draw a lot. And it doesn't matter what you're drawing. It doesn't matter if you're drawing floral patterns or drawing dogs or cars or landscapes. It doesn't matter what you're drawing, just draw. You've got to spend time burning down that pencil in order to get better. And if you don't, you're not ever going to get better. Like you have to draw. You have to draw a lot to be able to draw well. And so spend the time drawing every day, and that'll really, really help you change your tooling and stuff. What else? Yeah, that's the classes and stuff. We've got those up. We're excited about those. We will be doing some other stuff this fall. Like I said, the Black Friday event will be coming on. We'll be talking about Christmas. I'm sure some of y'all may start now that the kids are back in school and summer's gone really. We're coming closer to October here. You're going to start having people call you and hey, I need to get something ordered for Christmas or whatever. As you start doing that, as we say every year, be sure you've got some type of organization for that, right? You want to be sure that you don't overpromise, and we'll talk more and more about it as we get closer like we always do, but just kind of be mindful of how many orders you're taking. It's real easy to overextend yourself because people they just want it. They don't care what it costs. They just want it. It's got to have a gift. They think it's cool. They want to get something ordered, but you can only produce as much as you can produce. So just be mindful of that. Wichita Falls is going to be a great show from a business standpoint. If you are starting to get custom orders this month and people are starting to call about Christmas, which would be great if they would start early instead of calling you in December. But if they do and they start piling up, it's a great opportunity if you're near Wichita Falls to go there and go into these booths and see these vendors and these suppliers and pick up what you need right there, because then you can really dial it in, pick out the hide, the leathers, the tools if you need tools, supplies, hardware, things like that while you're there, and save on the shipping. That'll help. Every dollar counts, right, whenever you're doing stuff. And so that's a great opportunity because it is kind of the beginning of the fall season or the Christmas season. And so, because you don't want to get down into December and the first week in December, you're trying to rush order a thing of rivets or something because you ran out. Like, be sure you do a little bit of inventory in your shop. Make sure you've got enough supplies. The things that you think you have plenty of that you don't really pay attention to, threads, glue, oils, things like that. Be sure you've got that. Speaking of glue, we did a video last week on, I think it was last week, it was on the glue comparison. I started using if you've watched that video, you saw I started using some of the water-based contact cement from Renia and was really shocked at how well it worked and really happy with that. And so I was like, man, I'd used it in a few classes. We started using it here in the shop in some classes, as well as just me and the kids, working on stuff or just my general work. I was really impressed. Because usually I'm not impressed with very much of the, water-based, low fume, whatever. I want the hard stuff, you know what I mean? I want the off that has DEET in it so that, it might kill me over years, but the mosquitoes won't bother me. I don't want watered down stuff. And, that's some good glue. It works really good. And we had a little discrepancy there with the apply on, because the bottle I got, and I go through in the video, with the bottle I got, it said if you're gluing leather to leather, put it on one side and then stick it wet. And I found that very peculiar, and I didn't think it was going to work at all. And I tried it. I ran a little test when I got it, and it worked better than putting it on both sides. Since then, the labels that I got don't say that. And so I didn't know what was going on there for a minute. But after we posted that video, I had a bunch of y'all reach out, email me or message, or had something on a comment on the YouTube deal or on my Facebook post or whatever. And a lot of people said, mine says the same thing. Leather to leather, one coat, stick it wet. I was thankful. Thank you guys. Thank you very much for sending that to me, because I honestly thought I was losing my mind, because I'm like, there's no way I would have made that up, because that's not how contact cement works. So I was very happy to see those emails come in and those comments, because I guess they changed the label for some reason. I don't know why they did that, and I don't think it matters. You use it however you want. It does stick really well when you put it on both sides traditionally, how you normally would do it. It works fine too, but it works better, I think. At least in my test, it ran a lot better just on one side. So run your own test in your shop, check it out. Be sure to watch that video because I do talk about the Weldwood and then their Top Fit, Rhennia's Top Fit, and then we also touch on the rubber cement. So that video's been doing really well. It seemed to be an interesting topic that everybody kind of enjoyed kind of seeing what came out of that. So we might do a few more of those comparison things. I'm kind of old school and stuck in my ways as far as some of the things that I do in here, and I don't deviate from that a whole lot, but we are branching out the embossing stuff and, playing with some new glues and dyes and stuff like that. So who knows, we might do some more of that at some point. But other than that, yeah, we're just here in the shop working on some more tip videos, kind of like the one we did last week, working on some project videos, and then just trying to get going. I've got the saddle going over here. I'm fighting a front, doing a front cover, swell cover on that thing, and kind of had a little trouble with it last week, and now we got it lined out. I think we're good to go. So hopefully see some better progress pictures of that one as we go, and we've got a couple more that we're fixing to get started. So got a lot going on, got a lot to get done before next week when I have to clock out for a little while, then go recharge. But I appreciate you guys being here. Be sure to go to dgsaddlery.com, sign up for the Leathercraft newsletter, and we'll see you guys next week in the Monday Morning Briefing.